when we are asking about worldly things, we should remember, or we should keep in mind, the spiritual aspects of those things. Meaning, we should not only focus on the worldly aspect, but also the spiritual aspect. So, I will give you an example. That, for example, if you pray to Allah, that, oh Allah, give me a good job. So, you should keep in mind, oh Allah, I'm asking for a good job so that I have more money, and then I can donate, or I can do more charity. I can spend more money in the way of Allah. Or Allah, oh Allah, give me a job where I don't have to work on Saturday and Sunday, so that Saturday and Sunday I can spend in the work of Jamaat, etc. So whatever dua you're asking, if you should keep in mind the religious aspect or the spiritual aspect. So another example of that which we found from the Holy Quran is the example of Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam, that he prayed to Allah for a child in the following manner, that, oh Allah, I am very old. Oh Allah, my wife is already barren, but grant me a child. He asked for a child. Grant me therefore a successor from thyself, that he may be heir to me and the heir of the house of Jacob, and make him my Lord, well pleasing to thee. Everyone wants children. But if you pray that, oh Allah, give me children so they can be righteous servants of God, then you will have children, but also you will those children will be a source of blessing for you, of mercy from Allah. So that's point number one, that we should always keep in mind the religious and the spiritual aspects of our dua. Number two, the prayer must be sought with firm resolve. Very persistence, very strong in their prayer. One should have firm faith in Allah, that Allah has the full power to listen to your prayer. And then one should try uh, all the means that are available to Him also. Whatever is in your power, you do, and then pray the best you can do. So I had already mentioned one of the hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you should not pray that Allahumma gfirli in shi'ta. Rather, you can say in Sahih al-Muslim, it is mentioned that you should not say that, oh Allah, forgive me if you wish, but rather he should ask with firm faith and resolve. Azam and raghba are the words used by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And should pray with complete inclination and pray with the deep emotions of their heart. So the prayer should be with the firm resolve that Allah has the power. Even if that thing seems impossible, you should pray to Allah as if it is very possible, and it will for sure 100% will be accepted. Third point about acceptance of dua is that one should not be hasty or too quick in their prayers, meaning they should not pray for a few days and then forget about it, or become frustrated that my prayer is not being accepted. Rather, you should pray with the perseverance. You should pray with strong resolve, regularity. Even if it is not it does not get accepted right away, you should keep on praying. So Hazrat Masih Maud wasalam used to mention a story of a righteous person who prayed for 20 years, and every night he heard a sound or a voice from the angel saying that your prayer will not be accepted. But he continued to pray. One time another person heard the sound or the voice of the malaika, and he said, why do you keep on praying? If you hear this voice that your prayer will not be accepted, then why do you pray this manner? So the person replied, I have been praying like this for 20 years, and every night I hear this voice. But my job is to continue to pray. And it is Allah's will, it is Allah's prerogative, it is His choice whether He accepts my prayer or not. So the same night, he heard the voice of the malaika saying that Allah has accepted all of your prayers in the last 20 years. So one should not give up. Another point we should mention in the same regard, that all of the prayers are accepted. None of the prayers which are sought, which are asked with righteousness, are ever declined by Allah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that as long as a person does not pray for sin, and as long as a person does not pray for the cutting of the ties of kinship, the prayers will be accepted, and they will be accepted in one of the three ways. Either he will be given exactly what he asked for, or he will receive the reward for that in the hereafter, or he is saved from a trial or some kind of difficulty in exchange for that prayer. So these are some ways in which prayers are accepted. Number 4 about the etiquettes of dua is that one should pray during the time of ease, so that the prayers in difficulty are accepted more quickly or more often. So that Hazrat Qazi Zahuruddin Sahib, from whose article I'm presenting these points, he writes that it is improper, it is not the right way to do, to only pray in the time of difficulty. Rather, you should pray whether it is a time of difficulty, time of ease, does not matter. You should make it a habit to ask Allah regularly. If, for example, you do not have any problems at that time, you should pray to Allah for spiritual matters, to become close to Allah. You can ask Allah for afiyah. You can ask Allah for good results of your actions, etc. Ask for His mercy, for His grace. So whether you're in time of difficulty or ease, you should always do dua. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that whoever prefers for his prayers to be accepted during the time of difficulties should pray abundantly during the time of ease. This is mentioned in Jami' at-Tirmidhi, that whosoever wants their prayers to be accepted in the shadaid, فَلْيَكْسُرِ الدُّعَاءَ فِي الرِّخَاءِ, that they should pray a lot during the time of ease. Number 5, one should be active during his prayers. A person should not be lazy during their prayer. When one prays to God, it should not be that his tongue is praying to Allah and his heart is busy somewhere else. Rather, his entire body, his heart, his mind, his actions, his tongue, everything should be focused on praying to God. Allah Ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَتَبَتَّلْ إِلَيْهِ تَبْتِيلًا, that you should devote yourself completely with a full devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that one should pray with certainty and firm belief, and Allah will definitely listen to his prayer. And also remember that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَعْلَمُوا, and also remember, also know that Allah does not listen to such prayers which were asked with an absent heart and filled with vanity, meaning a person is thinking of something else. So your heart should be present in their prayer. Sometimes people make it a habit that they're mumbling with their mouth and praying all the time. Oh Allah, give me this. 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 But at the same time, you're thinking of something else. So that is not the proper way of doing dua. When you should do dua, when you should ask Allah for something, your entire body and soul should be occupied in that. The same, in the same article, it is mentioned that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the second Khalifa, he has also mentioned in the same regard that the reason we are asked not to let our elbows touch the ground or not to let our elbows lean against the side of our body during sujood is for the same reason that these things make you lazy, they make you slow. Meaning that the person, if his elbows are hitting the ground, he's feeling lazy, he's feeling tired. So it should not be the case. When you pray, you should pray in a very active manner. Not only your mind, not only your soul, but also your body should be in a very active state of doing things. Number 6, it is mentioned in a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Inna Rabbakum Hayyun Kareemun, that your Lord is benevolent and he is shameful, that he returns the raised hands of his servants empty-handed. So it says in the hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ashamed that when someone raises their hand to pray to Allah, that he lets them go back empty-handed. So from this we learn that it is a good practice to raise our hands during dua. Meaning that is why when we say dua, we raise our hands like this. Or raise our hands like this. So the reason for that is that according to hadith, prayers are more accepted when we raise our hands. Number 7, the wording of the prayer should be comprehensive and all encompassing. It should cover all the aspects and all the different purpose of that prayer, because it is possible that one is asking for something which he considers to be good, but in reality it is harmful for him. Or if a person is praying that, oh Allah, remove this difficulty from me, but in that same difficulty there are some good things for that person also. There's some kind of benefit, some kind of um, mercy of Allah hidden in that. So whatever words of the prayer that you use, they should be comprehensive in nature. So Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says that the prayers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam were al-jawami'u min ad-dua, that he was very comprehensive in his prayer, and he would not ask for anything which is not comprehensive, meaning it covered all the angles of what he was asking for. And he did not ask for small things or things in detail, rather his prayers were broad in their scope. Meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he asked for something, it was not limited, but rather he asked for things generically sometimes, or in more comprehensive manner, in an all-encompassing manner. So let me present to you a few examples of the prayers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that you understand what kind of prayers Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to ask. I will present some of them, only 2 or 3 of them here. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed. It is quoted, narrated by Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray that, oh Allah, make my hidden aspect better than my apparent condition, and make my apparent condition righteous. That make whatever is evident to the people to be right, salihah, and whatever is hidden in me, make it even more better. And then in the same prayer it says, oh Allah, I ask you for the righteous of what you give to people. Inni as'aluka min salihi ma tu'tin nas. That whatever good things, whatever righteous things you give to people, I ask you for all of them. So he did not limit his prayer. That, oh Allah, whatever good you have given to any of the people, give me that good also. From the children, from the wealth, from the wives, etc. Min al-ahli wal-mali wal-waladi. That whatever good you give to people in terms of family, in terms of children, in terms of wealth, give me all of that good also. And غَيْرَ الضَّالِ الْمُدِلِ, do not let us go astray after that. Once we are on the right path, keep us guided. So this was one of the prayer. Another prayer of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is very comprehensive in nature, is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray. Sorry. Allahumma inni na'uzu bika minan nazil or nudil, or nuzlim or nuzlam, or najhil or yujhal alayna. That, oh Allah, we seek refuge in you from slipping unintentionally or becoming misguided, or committing oppression or becoming oppressed, or acting ignorantly or being treated ignorantly. Right? Very complete prayer. Another prayer, and this is one of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you should pray in this prayer. That Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the best thing that a person can ask Allah, the best thing you can ask Allah, is al-afiyah. Very simple word, meaning protecting you from all the different hardships, keeping you safe, keeping you protected. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray for afiyah, that, oh Allah, keep me safe, keep me protected from all the difficulties, all the hardships of life. So again, a very comprehensive prayer, not limited. many prayers like this. I will just give one more example. That is the prayer of the Holy Quran. The Rabbana Atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. That, O Allah, we ask you for good of this world and good of the hereafter. Now there is no limiting what is the good. You're asking for the good of Allah generically, in a comprehensive manner, in this world and the hereafter. So all of our needs, they come under this one word, hasana. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan. So our prayers should also be comprehensive in nature. Yes, we can ask for whatever difficulty that is facing us, but we do not know that even in that difficulty, maybe there is something good. Or if you're asking for something good, maybe there is something bad in it. That is why Allah had kept it from us. So, for example, if someone is interested in marrying someone, oh Allah, please get me married to that person. Maybe that marriage is not good for you. And it will not end well because you do not know everything. Or you're asking for a job which looks very good, but that job or that business is not good for you. So your prayer should be comprehensive, and you should ask Allah for goodness rather than limiting your prayers according to your own understanding. Number 8, the prayer should cover the highest rank or the highest level of the thing that you are asking for. Meaning, do not ask for Allah for a lower level of the same thing, which you can ask for the highest level. So, for example, if a person is sick, they should not pray that, oh Allah, give me temporary relief or partial relief. All the treasures of the world are in the hand of Allah. Allah can give you complete recovery. Allah can give you a recovery which does not have any shortcomings, which is not temporary. Just an example. So whatever prayer you should ask for, it should be the best possible prayer for that matter, because the nu'ama of Allah cannot be limited. So there is a story during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that there was a person who used to pray that, oh Allah, give me complete blessings. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when you ask for complete blessing, what do you mean? He said, oh Prophet of Allah, I'm asking for wealth. I'm asking for money. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you're using such a beautiful word, complete blessing. But in your mind, you have a very limited idea of complete blessing. Only some money, only some good job. So Hazur said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, complete blessing has all the blessings of this world and all the blessings of the hereafter. So broaden your scope. Do not limit your prayer. Allah is not limited. Allah's mercy is infinite. Allah's treasures are infinite. Allah's grace is infinite. So you should not limit your prayers by your own thinking. You should always ask for the best of that prayer and the unlimitedness or unlimited scope of that prayer. Okay? So do not limit the blessing of Allah. Rather, extend it or make it even more. Next point number 9, that a person should be grateful to Allah during their dua. They should show shukr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, La in shakartum la azidannakum. If you are grateful, Allah will give you more. And Hazrat Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam, for example, in one of his prayer, he showed the gratefulness. That he says, Walam akun bi du'aika rabbi shaqiya. That, oh Allah, you have never turned me back. Whatever I have asked for you, you have always accepted my prayer. So please accept my prayer now also. So showing thankfulness in prayer, showing gratitude to Allah in your prayer, that is also an etiquette of prayer which enables our prayer to be accepted more. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when you see someone in a difficult situation, you should thank Allah who protected you from this calamity and made you better than many. Yes, all of us are going through many difficulties, but there are people who are in worse difficulties than us, right? So you should be thankful for for what Allah Ta'ala has protected you. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you are thankful, then as a result, Allah will protect you from that type of difficulty. And this will be a reward for your gratitude. So, for example, if you see that due to rain, someone's house was destroyed, so yes, you should pray for that person, but also show thankfulness to Allah that, oh Allah, you protected me from this difficulty. And as a reward, Allah will protect you in the future also. So, what that tells us is that before we start asking Allah for anything, we should try to remember many of the blessings of Allah which He has given us. And we should be thankful to Allah. We should do hamd of Allah, praise of Allah before we ask. So Hazrat Qazi Zahuruddin Sahib Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, he writes that some people, they are so thankless, they do not show any gratitude. That when you tell them this kind of thing, they say, what should we be thankful to Allah for? What has Allah given me? So he says, don't you have your hands? Don't you have your ears? Don't you have your tongue and nose and eyes? There are many people who are blind. There are many people who are deaf. So Allah has given you that. So aren't you a Muslim? So many people, they were born in a family or they were born in a situation that they were not able to accept Islam. So they do not pray to Allah. And he says in the end that even the ability to pray, ability to ask Allah is a blessing of Allah. So if a person starts thinking there are unlimited blessings of Allah, Allah Ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَحْصُوهَا, that if you try to count the blessings of Allah, you will not be able to count them. So before a person should do any dua, they should do remember the blessings and the gratitude of blessings of Allah and be thankful to Allah. Number 10, one should praise Allah before asking Him for anything, and that person should use certain attributes of Allah, certain sifat of Allah when praying for anything. So, for example, before we start our dua, we can ask Allah that, Ya Rabbul Alameen, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Maliki Yawmiddin. These are Ummu Sifat. These are the mothers of all the attributes of Allah. And similarly, whatever you are asking to Allah for, you should ask Allah by calling Him according to that type of attribute of God. So, for example, if you're asking for forgiveness from Allah, so you should say Ya Ghaffar. If you're asked for your shortcomings to be covered, you should pray Ya Sattar. If you're asking for more, better job or more money or more risky, you should pray to Allah with Ya Razzaq, etc., etc. So we should ask Allah according to His different attributes. It is mentioned that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sometimes used to start his prayer by saying, Subhana Rabbi al-Ala al-Wahhab, that holy is my Lord, holy is my Rabb, who is the most high and who is also al-Wahhab, the one who gives. So before prayer, he would pray in this manner also. Similarly, last point I will mention before I finish today's dars is that one should send durood, salutations, salawat upon Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam before doing any dua. It is mentioned in the hadith that a dua is stuck in the middle, and only through your salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam does it go to the heaven. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also said that if you send one salawat upon me, Allah will turn towards you 10 times. So these are the 11 points I have mentioned today. Rest I will mention tomorrow about what things we should keep in mind when we do dua. So please keep these things in mind when you're doing dua from Allah, when you're asking Allah for anything, and inshallah our prayers will be accepted more. Like I said, only 2 or 3 days are left in Ramadan. Our Eid will be the 3rd of May, Tuesday. So today is already Saturday. So today, Sunday and Monday. So please do as much dua as possible in these last 3 days of the month of Ramadan. May Allah accept all of my and all of your prayers during this blessed month, and may Allah Ta'ala forgive us and shower His infinite blessings and mercy upon all of us. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu Ta'ala ahsan jaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik wa sallim innaka hamidun majid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Brother Solomon.